TGO, Tom Gruenwald Outdoors, is brought to you by HT, premium ice tackle since 1974. Polar Fire Gear, this is how it's done. Tourism Saskatchewan, Canada's best freshwater fishing. Vexilar, ice fishing begins when you turn your Vexilar on. Kalispell, Montana, discovery in every direction. And these other fine sponsors.
Hello everyone and welcome to Tom Gruenwald Outdoors. I'm Tom Gruenwald and today we're fishing on beautiful Devil's Lake, North Dakota. We came out here to fish the classic perch and walleye. I mean, this is a world-renowned perch fishery and there's some tremendous walleye fishing in here as well. And oftentimes you catch those fish side by side while you're jigging. That's really what we came out here to focus on. And I'm fishing with Bob Kincaid from Kinks Outdoors, and Bob guides out of Ackerman Acres Resort, which is right here on East Bay and Devil's Lake. Bob drives a snow bear out here every day. So we're gonna sit inside. We're gonna do a little bit of jigging with his underwater camera systems in there. That's kind of a story for another day because it's foggy, the wind has died down, there's a front coming in tonight. It looks like great tip-up conditions. I said, do you mind if I go out there and set some tip-ups and try fishing for pike? He's, hey, you go ahead and enjoy yourself, go for it. So here we are, world-renowned perch and walleye fishery, and I'm setting tip-ups for pike. We're gonna see what happens. Have a little bit of fun with them. Another thing that we did, and I'm gonna show you in today's show, we had an opportunity. Ice formed early this year. We got a real nice cold snap back in November. Now, the muskie season in my home state of Wisconsin closes the end of November, but we had enough ice to support getting out and using some tip-ups already before Thanksgiving. I got together with my good friends, Aaron and Lacey Castern. We decided to set a few tip-ups and see if we could do something we hadn't done before, try to deliberately catch a muskie through the ice. I'll share that experience with you on today's show too. So join us right here on TGO as we fish for toothy critters, Devil's Lake, North Dakota, and native muskies in the state of Wisconsin. Well, that didn't take long. We just got the tip-ups all set. I just was going back to check some of the depths. This flag went up. Got a little angle on the line here. Oh yeah, fish on. It's not a big fish. We got a pike here, I think. Oh yeah. There we go. Yeah. All right. Hey, it's a start. I'll tell you what. We just put down the last line. I've got a one of these huskies here. I've got a polar, and I also dropped a couple of our polar pop-ups. And boy, I looked up, bang, there's a flag already. So that's a good sign, good start. We'll take that. And I'm gonna just go here and get this guy unhooked, and then I'll show you what we're using. You know, the Dakotas, of course, are known definitely for their perch and the walleyes, but I found some of the best pike fishing in the wintertime for pike out here at times. It's well worth coming out here to fish for these. You know, and if it can be a couple of different things. You might have a situation where the pike and the white walleyes and the perch maybe aren't biting as well as they should be, and it just provides another option. You can come out here and you can do this with the northern and really have some fun. I think this one here, he kind of swallowed my secondary hook, so I'm going to cut the line here and I'll re-rig that. There we go. Hey, not a big fish, but I'll tell you what, I've only had these lines in for 5 minutes and we got a flag and a fish. That's a great start. Beautiful morning out here. I love fishing out here in the Dakotas. I've had days like this where it's kind of warm, foggy, wind settles down right before a front comes in. It's always been really good. It didn't make any difference if it was perch, walleyes, bass, or pike. These have always been really good conditions. So I'm kind of excited. I'm gonna get this re-rigged and see if we can get another one.
More fishing action online at tgofishing.com.
So here we are on Devil's Lake, North Dakota. This is the, perch capital of the North Country, it seems. and I'm out here fishing for northern pike and having fun doing it. This isn't a big fish by any means. There certainly are some good sized pike in this system, there's no doubt about it. We've seen some really nice ones. 15, 20 pounds have been taken out of Devil's Lake here. And this is what's nice about fishing this system with a quick strike rig that I've got. That fish hit, I did not have to wait very long at all. Let him go just a couple of feet, came in, I set the hook right away, and the reason for that is because I've got that double hook quick strike rig on there. And he was hooked right in the lip, no damage to the fish at all. Devil's Lake, there's pike out here too. It's not just perch, and it's not just walleyes.
And now, TGO Tackle Tips with Tom.
I'd like to stop and show you what I'm using here for a rig. And of course, I've got a variety of different tip-ups out here. I've got the classic HT polar tip-up, which has always been one of my favorites. I've also got a wood-framed Husky, HT Husky. It's the same mechanism essentially as what we're using here on the polar, but in a wood frame. I've also got our polar magnetic pop-ups, magnums. It doesn't make a difference which one of these tip-ups or ice riggers I'm using. I'm going to show you this little rig that I made up here that I'm using on the tip-ups. What I've got is, first of all, a number 6 Gamakatsu octopus hook, and it's painted orange, and I like that. That's a little extra color, help the fish find the bait here in this dark water. And then I've got a second line. These are both coming off of a 3-way swivel. I've got a number 4 Gamakatsu treble hook. Again, both coming off of this 3-way swivel. And right above that, just got a split shot. So I've got something to help sink the bait down. And then I'm using a dead smelt here that we actually picked up at a local grocery store. Now, that might seem odd, well, why aren't you using live bait? Well, here on Devil's Lake, we're not allowed to do that. So as much as I would like to use a live red-tailed chub or a sucker minnow, we're not allowed to do it. And I'm putting the single number 6 Gamakatsu right up here through the dorsal side of the fish, and then in the back end I'm putting the treble hook. Now it might look like these are kind of white. Why such big hooks, Tom, on such a small bait? Well, it's simple. Of course, first of all, it's set up as a quick strike, so bang, I'm going to catch these fish and it can hook them right away. I don't have to wait, which eliminates them swallowing the bait. And I think the bigger hooks are less likely to be swallowed as well. I'm more likely to probably catch them up by the lips or in the jaw. It does less damage to the fish since I'm tending to release them anyway. Then I'm going to set these baits at different depths. As it drops down, you're going to see a red mark appear here once it gets down below the ice. And then I can actually watch that. Now I've got a lot of terminal tackle on here, so you're going to see a lot of things going on. There's a swivel up above and the minnow below, so there's a lot of things, but it's very obvious where the bait is here. And now I'm going to lower it. Now when I get it to about 1.5 feet or 2 feet off the bottom, I'm going to stop there. And the reason for this is because I have to account for the length of the tube on the polar tip-up as this goes down into the hole. And I don't want to be too far off of the bottom. This one I want to keep fairly close to it. So again, I'm coming down about 2 feet off. I'm actually going to set the flag here now. Drop the bait down, and as I put the tube down into the water, you'll see the bait going right down just off of the bottom foot or so. I can see that on my sonar, and I'm all set to go. Everything's ready. We'll just wait and see. Hopefully we'll get a couple of these pike to bite. And we got him. Feels a little bit bigger. It's not a giant fish, but it's a little bigger than the last. Made a nice run there. Again, it's not a giant trophy or anything like that, but it's a nice pike. Gonna get his head turned here. There we go. Nice. Perfect. Again, not a trophy by any stretch of imagination, but I want to show you. Look in his mouth here, and you can see. I'm going to get a mouth spreaders here. I want to show you just how this rig works. You can see that the small hook here, right in the lip, real easy. No problem to get that one out. The other one got taken down a little bit further here, but you can see how it was pretty lightly hooked. You look at the mouth of the fish here. I didn't hook any gills, no blood. Fish is not hurt. Got it up in the jaw, and I was able to set the hook on this fish fairly quickly because of that use of that quick strike rig. So no damage to the fish. Nice release. Let's get them in here. I always like to give the fish a little bit of time just to grab a little bit of oxygen and everything, get over the shock of everything. So Devil's Lake, North Dakota. It's the perch capital of the ice fishing world, it seems. And we also got some great walleye fishing out here, but hey, there's some pike to be had out here too. It's a lot of fun. You know what though? I'm just gonna take a little break here. I had promised you at the beginning of the show that we were gonna join my good friends Aaron and Lacey Castern up in northern Wisconsin to try to fish for some muskies through the ice. You know what? It was a lot of fun, and I'd like to take you over there and just show you how that turned out. We're gonna check in with Aaron and Lacey, fish for muskies through the ice, here on TGO. We're up in northern Wisconsin. It's a couple of days before Thanksgiving, and we've had some unusually cold weather. Got out here into the Northwoods, started talking with my good friend Aaron Castern and his new bride Lacey, asking, hey, what's happening up there? Are you getting any ice? Sure enough, he says there is some ice formation, let's go check it out. We had to work our way kind of along a snowmobile trail and through a bog to access the ice, but once we're out here, this ice is golden. We're on things, we're on ice, it's about to happen. Got talking to Aaron and Lacey, and they said, you know, a few times over the years, we've had the opportunity to get out on the ice and try to catch a couple of those muskies. Hey, now that intrigued me. The muskie mystique, the fish of 10,000 casts. Could we possibly get one through the ice? We're on a small, shallow, protected lake where there's not a lot of wind. This bay here is solid. We've got this nice ice form. We're gonna drop some magnetic polar pop-up tip-ups, the big 1,500 foot capacity spool, so it holds lots of line if these muskies make a long run. We rigged them with some good, sharp, quick strike rigs, hooked up some big sucker minnows and some big crick chubs we were able to get here at a local bait shop. We're gonna put them to work under these tip-ups and see if we can do it. Can we catch the elusive fish of 10,000 casts? The mystique of the muskie here on the ice. Wisconsin's Northwoods, Louis Sprague, world records. Hey, lots of big dreams. It's a big day on the ice. We're gonna see if we can make it happen. Well, how do you rig for these muskies?
Basically what we're doing is just a quick strike setup. You know, larger hook going back behind the head. This one here's got a little bit shorter on the back, so we're running a 2 and a 4 for trebles. Okay. Just spacing them back, you know, 3, 3.5, whatever the case is, whatever size bait you're running on. And basically all we're doing is just rigging them up so we don't have to monkey with them. You know, give them any time. As soon as the fish comes in, we grab it, we get up to the flag, we can set the hook. And we got some really big crick chubs too right now too. They stay real lively on the hook.
And we're just fortunate. These are hard to find sometimes during the winter, but because these bait shops are stocking this, presumably for being out here fishing in open water, soaking suckers for muskie.
Yep, they've got a little holdover yet, and we're lucky enough to find some.
Now, is there anything special you do when you hook these, Aaron?
You know, I try to get the biggest hook, the 4 hook, up near the head because they're going to take them in head first once they turn them. The smaller hook on the back is just kind of like an insurance, basically. Okay. You know, just and it helps keep it horizontal too when it's in the water, so it's not tipping head down, head up. It's staying horizontal.
Now, one thing I did notice is you've barely got those hooks kind of in through the skin of the minnow. I assume that's so that when a fish does take it, you can pull the hooks out of the minnow and into the fish.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Works a lot better. Otherwise, sometimes you know I've seen other folks do it, and it happens once in a while. You hook them too deep, and you go to set the hook, and you end up turning the bait into a suitcase.
Yeah.
And then it balls up. There's nothing to get the hook into them, so it's better to just break them free. And if you don't get the fish, you know that's the way it is. But you know at least you're free.
Well, let's go see if that can get us a muskie.
Do that.
All right, Lacey, you're the muskie expert. You take it. Lane's at an angle. Let's see if you feel a little weight there.
Oh, yeah, we got one.
Okay, all right, got him.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, there you go. We got a muskie. There it is. All right.
Well, we got him.
That a girl, Lacey? That a girl? we'd say, hey, you know what? We don't know if this is going to work or not. I mean, they call it the fish of 10,000 casts. Are we going to actually be able to get a muskie or not? And there you go. You did it. You got one. Then rinse them off a little bit if you want there. There you go.
Yeah, I just got it
right in the corner of the mouth. Yep.
Hold your fish up.
Nice job, Lacey.
Nice start. Let's see if it happens, if we can make it work. And
Yep, we got one.
And you did it. And you did it. And you know, it's funny because, I mean, what, we got out here, we probably set up at 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. We've been out here for 4 hours. And it took that line out. This could happen, and we reset this line, and we might end up getting another fish or two in the next half an hour. You don't know. It's muskie are really a unique species. Beautiful. Right. Nice job, Lacey. Way to get one. Awesome.
More fishing action online at tgofishing.com.
Oh yeah, it is going. I just put a little bit of slush down on this. Here, just put something down and kind of hold it. 'Cause the wind's blowing so hard, I didn't want it to pick up that drape like this and blow the tip up off of the hole. But boy, it really does help to keep that skirt, keeps the hole open. That's a nice feature to have when you're out in a day like this. Just kind of waiting here. See if we get another run. That fish hit and the spool was turning. I came up here, opened the window on the drape. I saw it going. And we got him. This one's a little heavier, I think. Feels good. Yeah, take a little line. That's a good sign right there. And you'll notice as I'm doing this, I'm trying to kick the line out here with the wind. It helps prevent line tangles. We don't want any tangles out here, especially if a fish makes a long run. I want to be able to feed line to him. Oh yeah, it's a little better fish. Just nice and easy. Don't want to work these fish too hard, especially as you get their head near the hole. They can get off in a hurry. This is a nice fish. That's a nice fish. Ooh, there he goes. Now you be real careful too. It's got all that wood down there and those logs. I don't want to have the fish take too much line and get tangled up down there on me. Oh yeah. There we go. I got all those extra hooks, gotta be kind of careful. Don't get poked. There we go. There we go. Hey, I'll tell you what. There are some nice pike in Devil's Lake. And I'm gonna give you my line right now and say, nothing beats ice fishing. Nothing. Right there, that's what tip-up fishing's all about. Oh, so we get this thing all unraveled here. Get the hook out. I love fishing tip-ups for pike. And this is why right here. They might have a lot of perch and a lot of walleyes in Devil's Lake, but they've got some big gators too. Nice fish. Nice fish. The head on that beast. Look at that fish. You get her back. So important when it's cold now like this wind blew up and it got so much colder. You don't want their eyes to freeze or their gills. So it's real important to get that part of that fish back down in the water. And all I'm doing is just letting that fish take water in through its gills. I don't like to pump the fish a lot. I like to have the fish actually draw the water on its own. That seems to work the best. And they're in a little bit of a state of shock after you catch them like this. Best thing you can do is just let them kind of start getting their energy back. You can see her now, she's starting to snap a little bit, curl up, wants to go. Look at that tail on that fish. That's a nice pike. There you go, girl. Hey, that's perfect. That's what we came out here for. Tip-up fishing and pike, they go together like cookies and milk. I love it. Well, hey, that was a lot of fun. Here we are on Devil's Lake, North Dakota. Temperature was a little bit warmer, it was kind of foggy. You know what? This would be a great day to spend a little bit of time maybe fishing tip-ups for the pike. So we started out and we put some in right in that deeper water out there where we were right alongside where we were fishing the perch and the walleyes, and we were able to catch a couple of pike out there. I also want to thank my good friends Aaron and Lacey Castor. You know, we got a chance to go out and actually fish for native muskies, kind of a unique situation, and we were successful. Lacey iced that fish. Of course, got to definitely thank Bob Kincaid and all the good people over at Ackerman Acres Resort here on Devil's Lake for making this trip possible. And I want to thank you for joining us here on TGO. Hope you enjoyed today's show. We'll see you again next week here on TGO, where it's all ice fishing all the time.
TGO has been brought to you by HT, premium ice tackle since 1974. Polar Fire Gear, this is how it's done. Tourism Saskatchewan, Canada's best freshwater fishing. Vexilar, ice fishing begins when you turn your Vexilar on. Kalispell, Montana, discovery in every direction. And these other fine sponsors. TGO, where it's all ice fishing all the time.